All right. Talk to me, man. I mean, I know you've kind of been on a journey the last, month or so, and certainly potentially interested in growing. And I'd love to help just figure out what that is and then go from there. But what's your mindset and what are you wanting?
Yeah, man. So at this point, I, got with my wife, and I think that was an important thing because, I think it's important that, you do things as a team.
Sure.
And, I just had a good conversation with my wife, and she was in agreement. And we just, I was in a place where I felt like, I had this really good job opportunity that I was going to do in addition to what I'm already doing. And I was going to try to make, some pretty good money doing it. And I just, I got to thinking, and I had that, huh?
Was it working for Chippendales?
I wish I was that good, Corey.
Elizabeth, I threw that joke in there because she'll watch this back.
Yeah. And she'll laugh.
Yeah.
But, it was a really good job opportunity and all, but I got to thinking, I'm like, at the peak of this business, I was making 10 grand a month.
Yeah.
And there's no reason why I can't do that every month. And after that talk that me and you had, and I realized I had to make a choice, I just said, you know what, this will be a lot easier and a lot less hours if I just did this. And I really do enjoy it. But I've got to get over myself, man. And I think I've crossed that barrier now as far as, social media, cause I understand what I'm doing and I have to keep that in perspective, but I'm ready, man. I'm not going back, and I'm ready to blow the doors off this thing.
So just kind of starting from the basics, and first off, this is probably going to have to be an ongoing conversation too. I don't think that there's any way in 30 minutes that we can just sit down and that.
Yeah.
That it's a process. It's a conversation. And I've been doing this 2.5 years, and there's still moments that I'm on the phone with Eric or Dan or Doug and just saying, hey, talk me through this. So that's going to happen. But just kind of at a starting point here, there's 4 components to being a successful coach. If you want to be a good coach, you got to learn how to do 4 things. And it's literally, if you know how to do those 4 things, it's rinse repeat from there. And those 4 things are: how do you get clients? How do you start clients? How do you get clients in your team? Number 2, once they become a client, how do you support them? What does it mean to be a coach to those people? Number 3, how do you get coaches onto your team? And then number 4, and probably the most challenging one, how do you support your coaches? So starting from the beginning, and we'll just kind of go through those 4 things and add in, and certainly if you have questions, let me know. But as far as getting clients, that's the first major hurdle that we're trying to jump over. And throughout this last 9 months, I think you've proven that you know how to get clients, right? But you've also learned that after the initial phase of shocking pictures of weight loss for you, the process of bringing on clients becomes a lot more organic. And not that I would say it becomes more challenging, and I don't want to say the days are over, but when you first started, you could throw up a before and after picture of you and your dad and sign up 10 clients.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's probably not going to happen much anymore. And that's okay. And here's the cool thing. I think I shared this with you, that most people that start this business don't have the kind of network that you have.
Yeah.
They just don't. Most people that start this business have an average of 200 to 300 Facebook friends. They live in a town of 10,000 people. They're not pastors. They're street sweepers or garbage men or stay-at-home moms. They just, and so they begin this process of really learning how to work social media and how to start conversations and we can go into that's a topic for another day in terms of how. I will say this, that one of the best tools that we utilize to help us to get clients is called a 100 list. And what that is it's you making a list of 100 people that you think this program would be good for. You sitting down with Elizabeth one night, going through your Facebook contacts, your cell phone contacts, thinking through people at church or past churches, and just thinking, man, this would be really great for this person. That doesn't mean you're going to call them and say, hey, you're chubby, I got something that works for you. It just means you're going to start this process of beginning a conversation with them. So there's a great training, and I would certainly recommend both you and Elizabeth watching this. You can find it on our coach page, and it's from Dan. It's called the 100 List Training. You might have seen it already.
Yeah, I've seen it.
If you have, I've watched it 10 times. Going back and just watching it and then doing that will help you to really kind of, in an organic way, begin to learn how to share the program with people on that list that aren't banging your door down asking for more info on the program. So I'd certainly start there when it comes to getting more clients. And then we went through this before, but I think a great place to start also is to make connection with all your past clients too. Just seeing where they're at. I did that today, and I had 3 phone calls set up already.
Can you tell me how to pull that up? Because I did have a hard time to see that.
Yeah, can you pull up your Office in Motion and share your screen?
Sure can. So I just go to a website, right? Go to My Office in Motion, but I'm saying you'll be able to see it?
If you hit the share screen button, I will be able to.
Okay.
And I can show you a couple of cool reports in Office in Motion that are really cool. Some of them are how to work with your team, but I'll get into that later because I kind of want to, just at the basics, really go through those 4 components, and then we'll go from there. Each one of those 4 have different variables, but.
Can you see that?
No. Did you hit share screen?
I thought I did. I just X'd out here. Share screen again. It's green with an arrow up.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Desktop. Oh, Safari main page.
Yep. There it is.
Okay.
Okay. So go to reports.
Yep.
And then go to contact report. Second one. Yep.
There it is.
Then you want to go to scroll down and go to performing rank. Yeah, right there. Type inactive client to inactive client.
Okay.
And then you want to change the level to 1 because you're not wanting to search for all the inactive clients for everybody in your organization, just your frontline clients.
Gotcha.
And then hit show report. So you scroll down, and those are all of your clients that are inactive right now.
Gotcha.
So if you click on their ID that's blue.
Has their phone number.
You probably, it probably pulled up a different window.
Yeah, it's got a phone number there.
Yep.
Yeah, I see that.
And it's got their email. You can, so here's a cool thing here. If you wanted to, now I've learned that sending individual info is better. But if you wanted to like send a bulk email to all these people or send an e-card, like let's say you wanted to make an e-card that says, hey, we have a $25 welcome back incentive for people that jump back on plan. You can send an e-card to everybody on this list and it emails them. And it also, if you do the e-cards, it shows you who read it and who didn't read it.
Ah.
Yeah.
Where's the e-card?
Okay, go see where it says above the names, like Paul Amorti, and see where it says send e-card. Click on that.
Okay.
I can't see that report, but unless it went to a different screen or something.
Yeah, it's got them all.
Here, go to that. Can you open that screen?
Yep. Oh, you mean share it?
Yeah.
Okay. How do I new share?
No, just click to that window wherever what you're looking at.
I'm clicking on it right now. You can't see
It's
that?
all right. You should be able to figure it out. But that's just
Here you go. Is that it?
no, I can't see it. That's all right.
So yeah, these are all still all my inactive clients, and then I can create an e-card.
Oh, there we go. Yep.
Okay.
And you can go down and you can do like special occasion. You can send birthdays. You could send just generic ones, a thank you, congratulations, or you can do a blank card.
So you just click that, and then you just type them a message.
Yep.
That is incredible.
Yep. And then if you send it, it will tell you this person viewed it, this person opted out.
Do you recommend doing just one or the other, or both, like text and email?
I would say both, but I would do it staggered. You know, like maybe send the e-card out first, and then a week later, hey, I sent you a card, just letting you know, hope all is well. We miss you. If you're looking to get started in your health journey, I'd love to have a conversation with you about it.
Gotcha. I'm gonna write that down with text. Okay.
But I would stagger it because otherwise it might seem overwhelming.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So I got 58 people just right there.
Yeah, there you go. And the cool thing about that is you don't have to spend time sharing the program with any of them.
They already know.
You can stop screen share. We'll come back to that Office in Motion in a second when we get to the supporting coaches role. But that's just, you know, you think of adding clients. Like Doug Wood said this once. He said, we get paid to start conversations. We think of it as closing deals or signing up clients, but the way to look at it is we just want to start conversations. We want to get people in the funnel. Like you can picture like a funnel that you put into your oil container for your car, and it's got that big opening and it just kind of narrowly gets smaller.
Yeah.
Well, every time you have a conversation with someone, it goes into that funnel, and my mission as a coach is just to keep filling that funnel. I want to fill that funnel with potential clients and potential coaches. and that's really all I do. So that's the process of starting clients. And then once you start them, what I do is I layer coaching from the beginning to everybody that I start. And how I do that is I get their credit card info, and usually I have a conversation with them when they do that. And I'll tell them, okay, I did this twice today. I say, all right, so got your info. I'm going to put your order in today. In about a week, your food's going to show up. Call me when it does, and we'll get you started. So, and then I say, and I just want to tell you about one more thing. You're going to get your food. You're going to start losing weight. People are going to start coming up to you like crazy, asking what you're doing, because this is going to work. I know you told me you want to lose 50 pounds, and I'm telling you, when you lose 50 pounds, people are going to start noticing. And when you do, or when they do, you got a choice. You can either refer them to me, and we love coaching. Elizabeth and I even love it so much that we'll even give you $25 as a referral every time you refer someone to us, because we love coaching them and we want to bless you. Or I can show you how to coach them yourself. It doesn't take a lot of time. It's one of the best motivators to stay accountable in your own journey, and you can make some pretty great income. So that's a decision for later. I'm just telling you this is going to work and people are going to notice. So call me next week when your food shows up and we'll get started.
Gotcha.
And I do that every time.
Gotcha.
And then, you know, you've just layered and dropped that seed for coaching in a non-threatening way, and you can bring that back up when they're 2, 3, 4 weeks into the program.
Yeah.
So, and then obviously the basics. I can get you access to this if you want. I can send an email, remind me about it. Julie and I have there's a welcome email that we send out. We've customized it, but there's a blank one that's free if you wanted it. And I send that new email. It's got a nice cover on it. It just looks like a professional email. It's almost like you're treating yourself. We're professional health coaches, and we want to help our new clients have some information before they get started. I can send you the blank version of that if you text me to remind me, or I can get you in contact with the people that customize it for us. It doesn't cost a lot of money. But then you can, what we do when we start a new client, add them to the Path to Awesome page on Facebook, and then we send them a new client email. And then what that does with the service that we have, it sets them up on we have a newsletter that mails out once a week, and it's all automated. We don't do any of it. We don't write the content. Somebody else does. And literally it sends healthy recipes. It signs them up for that automatically whenever you sign them up for this newsletter. I can get you connected. It's a great business write-off. It doesn't cost a lot of Synduit. Yeah. But the girls that do it for us, like, I'm not saying you need to do this, but these girls are awesome. I pay them $100 a month, and they not only do they, I may pay them $150, but what they do is they, when I start a new client, I send them an email and say, hey, will you email these guys the new client email? Done. And it's also automatically in their system that a week after the person gets their food, those people send them a snail mail letter from me with referral cards in there so that they know how to refer their friends to me. And I don't even have to worry about it. I'm not saying that you need to do that. It's just, I basically hired, if you're worried about time and you don't like doing the busy office work stuff, you can hire someone for not much money to do some of that clerical stuff for you. And all you need to do is tell them who the new clients are, and they'll plug them into the system. It's awesome. Okay. So maybe some time down the road, that's something you might want to look at. But in the meantime, I can send you the Synduit email, and you can just copy and paste it and send it to the person. Just remind me and I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Next would be how to support clients.
Yeah.
And that we've learned that the first week is so important. So what we do is, and you have those text messages for the first week. There's a video that I send them the night before they start that shows them how the program works. What I tell them is, hey, here's this video, watch this video, call me, and we'll talk it through. But they're going to ask a bunch of questions that video answers. And I'm just trying to save myself some time. Mm-hmm. So watch this video, call me when it's over, we'll get you started. They get started. They send me their weight for the first 4 days. It's really important that I've learned, if you want to keep people on the program, to talk to them every day for the first 4 days, even if it's 3 to 5 minutes. It does not have to be long. How you doing? What'd you eat today? What was your progress? Keep it going. Let's talk tomorrow. I mean, and you do that for the first 4 days. So if a person starts Monday, you're talking to them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 5 minutes max. And don't let them keep you on the phone for long. I mean, there's no reason unless they have some major issues. Then I'll tell them, all right, you've weighed in every day for the first 4 days. I want you to stay off the scale for the next 3 days. Weigh in Monday. and then let's chat. And a lot of times what I'll do on that 1 week weigh-in is I'll bring in somebody from my support team. So Pat, Karen, Julie, myself, for 10 minutes. And it's just to celebrate them, encourage them. That person can layer coaching. I've been doing this for 2.5 years, and I still have Dan do those for me. Not because I don't know how to do them. It's just because that third voice adds a lot. Okay. So that's what we do. And then after that week, I put them in the funnel of when I support the rest of my clients. I pick out 2 days a week where I have 2-hour blocks, and I will call people in those blocks. So what that could look like is after the person's done for their 1 week, you could say, hey, I do client supports on Monday evenings or Friday mornings. Which one of those works best for you? And I'm not saying those are what you have to pick. You pick what's best for you. I know you got basketball and stuff, so you're the coach. You pick the times. So then you just put people in a slot. And then on Monday mornings or Friday evenings, a lot of times what I do is I try to call them all on Monday morning, and the ones I can't reach, I call again Friday.
Now, these are the people that's in your first week?
No. These are people that are just on the plan.
On plan. Okay.
Yep. First week people, I'm calling them every day for the first 4 days.
Okay.
After that, they go into the funnel of just people on the plan, and I talk to them once a week for 5 minutes. So if you're supporting 40 clients, you can support 40 clients in 2 to 3 hours a week. It doesn't take long.
Yeah.
You just got to do it. And we call them celebration calls. Hey, what are we celebrating today? Sometimes they answer, sometimes they don't. But I want them to hear my voice, even if it's through voicemail. And sometimes something that I'll do, if I can't get a hold of somebody 3, 4, 5 times and they're not answering my call, it's probably because they're struggling. I'm not going to assume that, but that's what I'm thinking.
All right.
So sometimes what I'll do there is I'll send them a 60-second personalized video. I'll pull my phone out, say, hey, JM, it's Corey. Sorry we haven't had a chance to connect the last few weeks. I know it's crazy, but I just wanted to encourage you. I know that you started so great on your journey, and I'm proud of you for making this decision. I'd love to chat, but I just wanted to let you know that I'm thinking about you and praying for you today. Done.
Nice.
So I don't want the video to take the place of a weekly call, but I use the video if they're not responding to me.
Gotcha.
So it's just all systematic. So then, I think for you, once you guys get a handle on the organized structure of this, it's going to take a big weight off, because literally it's just checks and balances. You're just, okay, what am I doing today? And you go. But that client support is huge, because what I've learned is if I support my clients well, they're more likely to do 3 things. Number 1, they're more likely to stick with the program and keep ordering. Number 2, they're going to refer their friends to me because I'm offering them great service. And then number 3, they're more likely to become a coach because they see that they can do what I'm doing. And so that client support piece is huge. And I would say that if you haven't been using that structure, that's okay. That's just something you can pick up.
I've been doing a lot of these things you've been saying.
Good.
Yeah.
So that's just what we do to support our clients, and try to find ways to celebrate them. Whether it's a week, a month, 20 pounds, 50 pounds, new pant size, whatever. Sometimes we'll bring in people from our support team to add to them. But, Pat says that all the time, never miss an opportunity to make someone a star or a hero. We try to utilize that mentality with supporting our clients. So that's just a real basic structure of how to support clients.
Okay.
Number 3 would be starting health coaches. And we've talked through that a little bit, but health coaching is just always something I'm layering. That's the beauty of this boot camp we've been doing Saturdays. It's about sponsoring and just living in that mindset.
I'll be on for this call. So It's 8:00 my time, right?
No, I think it's 10 Eastern. So I believe it's 9 Central.
See, our game starts at 10, but, that's fine because that's not during the game at least.
Yeah, so but it's recorded too. But those sponsoring boot camps have just been great. Even if you want, that might be one of those things. They're recorded. For you and Elizabeth to go back and watch 1 and 2 would be good, just to kind of see those. But it just kind of like Dan, when Dan first started coaching, he sat down with Eric and said, hey, if you can, or with Doug, and said, if you can start and sponsor 5 to 8 coaches a month for 3 months, that's going to establish a massive business. Now, just like the clients, if I start clients but don't support them, they're not going to stay. And the same is true with coaches. If I start coaches and don't support them. Now the rule is, and we'll get into this with supporting coaches, and you've seen this with your business too, and I've seen it with mine, Not everybody that buys a coaching kit is going to do something with it.
No, that's true.
They just won't. And that doesn't mean you're a bad coach. It just means it is what it is. And I'll get into this in a second, but for the ratios, but it's just this, idea of what I want to do is I want to have a sponsoring mindset that I'm always looking for people to sponsor as a health coach. Most of them are from my client base, but not necessarily. You might know some people in your church or in your life that you're like, man, this person would make a killer health coach, but they don't need to lose weight or they don't need to get healthy, but you think they'd make a great coach. Figuring out how to bring up coaching to that person, but just always thinking through the mindset of sponsoring coaches. And then also helping that mindset to filter down into your team. Because, I don't know, did you ever hear of or read Andy Stanley's book, Deep and Wide?
No.
So it's a great book, but he talks about how churches need to grow wide, reaching more people, but we also want to grow deep. If we have a church that's got 50,000 people, but nobody knows where to find the book of Acts,
Yeah.
That's not a strong church. At the same token, I could have 50 people in my church that have the Bible memorized, but we're not reaching anybody for the gospel. You need to do both.
Yeah.
And the same is true with your coaching. You want to have, it's great if you have 15, 20 coaching legs wide, but you want to have coaches 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 levels deep. So the way that happens is by helping your coaches understand this sponsoring mindset. And that comes into the next phase, which is the most challenging, which is how to support coaches. And we've kind of discovered a process with this that we utilize. And the first would be whenever I start a new coach, I want to get them on a meet and greet, like as soon as possible. And you can, and I'll show you a couple things. I mean, that certainly is true for the coaches that you personally support, but you also want to make sure that meet and greets are happening for coaches in your organization too.
Yeah.
Because like you've seen with Charity and Sherry Blackwood, Charity is your frontline coach and she's not doing anything, but the Blackwoods are, that's fine. So you want to find that, it's like the concept of digging for gold.
Yeah.
You might not find that gold until you get into the third or fourth coach. That's all right. You run with that one. So I'll show you how to run a report on finding those in a second. So doing a meet and greet within the first couple days, huge. I want to get them set up on a text thread with the support team, which my suggestion would be any new coach like you've done, Pat and Karen, Julie and I, and just start that process. And really the goal for a new coach is simple. We want to help them get their first 5 clients. That's it. We don't want to worry about anything else other than that.
Okay.
And the way to get those clients, we want to help them. What I tell them is 2 things. I want you to watch a starting point training. Now, starting point is, have you ever seen the Simple Systems document?
I'm not sure.
I'll send this to you.
Zoom call every week, the starting point systems.
I'm going to show you something, and I'll send it to you, but this is a pretty cool tool. I don't send this to any coach unless they're ED or above, because otherwise they get way too overwhelmed. There's a lot of info on here. But I'm going to share this with you and show you something. All right, can you see this?
Yeah.
So Simple Systems, this is a calendar of when all the trainings are on Monday nights. So,
moly.
And how to access them. Okay. So what they do on Monday nights is they run the same training twice. It's mainly for people on the West Coast. If they can't get on the ones earlier, they rerun it at a later time. So this tells you when starting point is, when the leadership call is, when the core training. Starting point is for new coaches. Leadership call is 15 minutes long. It's with Dr. Ray, sharing stuff that's happening with the company. usually a story or two of some coaches that are doing well. And then core training lasts about 30 or 40 minutes, and it's for coaches that are senior coach and above and just want to grow their business.
Right.
So you can see all those things. All of these down here, these are access to the different client support calls, Habits of Health calls, Trilogy calls. This has info for the Dr. A FIBC call. And these are recordings. If you want to see the recordings from Starting Point, the leadership call, you can find all those here. Here's recent recordings that if you want to check them out. Trilogy Mindset, if you'd like a video that talks about sponsoring or a presentation to share. Let's say you've got a chiropractor that wants to potentially be a health coach. There's a video for chiropractors, personal trainers, pastors, people that don't need to lose weight, how this can help them. Mom Boss, this is a great one for 5 full-time moms who now stay at home and are able to coach. Great stuff. Some tools. Here's some cool things. Supporting your new coach. How do you order your coach business kit? How do you start your new coach strong? How do you find your well-being tracker? Whenever your coach is ready, how do they place their first order? So instead of you having to walk them through it, here's a video that you can send them that says, hey, here's how you process your first client's order. Watch this video to show you how to do it.
That's awesome.
This new client email I was telling you about, there it is right there, new client email.
Can you send me all that?
Yeah, I'll send you the link.
Okay.
This one is huge. Senior coach celebration. We'll get into that in a second, but we'll get in. So there's just a whole bunch of stuff here. How to utilize social media, the compliance statement, client support tools, just a bunch of stuff. So you can see how I probably wouldn't send this to anybody except your ED teams. Because otherwise, if you start a new coach, they're going to look through all this stuff and it's going to be overwhelming.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do this right now. Copy. Just going to send it if I can. All right, what's your number? Because I don't think I have your number in my computer, but.
251.
Hold on.
232. There I am.
Oh, there you go. There's the Simple Systems doc. So you can, what I do is I saved it on a shortcut on my phone. So you can see right there, Simple Systems. I can just pull it up from my phone right there, and I have access to it. Any doc, like if a coach ever says,
what'd you do on your phone there? I didn't get that.
I created like I don't even know what this is called, like a shortcut or a bookmark or whatever.
Yeah, bookmark. Okay.
Yeah. So you can just take so that you can find it easily.
Gotcha.
Yep. So that's a great tool to use. You can find a lot of documents on there. But when I start a new coach, 2 things I want to do. I want to have them watch a Starting Point training. And let's say you start a new coach on Tuesday or Wednesday.
That's every Monday, right?
Yeah, but let's say you start a coach Tuesday or Wednesday. Karen just said the compensation's up. What was I going to say? Let's say that you start a new coach Tuesday or Wednesday, and the new Starting Point isn't until Monday.
Right.
You can send them a recording of a past Starting Point. Say,
okay.
Hey, check this out. So I want them to watch a Starting Point, and then I want them to make a list of 15 to 20 people.
Holy moly, comp is up.
Is it? Cool.
Dang. I had a good month.
There you go.
Okay.
So Starting Point training, and then helping them make a list.
Okay.
Help them make a list of 15 to 20.
So if Monday don't work out, what were you saying?
You can send them a recording. There's in that Simple Systems, there's one that says best Starting Point to send a new coach. Send them that. Just say, hey, check out this recording. Let me know when you've watched it. It's just real basic info about how to get started as a coach.
Gotcha.
Then I have them make a list. Maybe I'll have them watch that 100 list training from Dan. I'll say, hey, make a list of 20, 30 people that are on your heart right now that you'd love to help with this. Maybe it's people that have already asked about what you're doing. Maybe it's a family member, friend, whoever. Make a list. Once you get that list, let's talk through that, because what we're going to do is we're going to find 2, 3, 4 people from that list and do some 3-way calls. So we want to help that person get their first client.
Okay.
From there, obviously, you want to help them get their first 5 clients, get to senior coach. There's a document in that Simple Systems called Senior Coach Celebration, and I've learned that that is so huge. The Senior Coach Celebration sets the stage for what's next for them, and it goes over and makes sure that skills have been transferred, that they know that are they ordering the right kit, are they talking to their clients, are they all that stuff. Do they know what a well-being tracker is? Like all that stuff.
Right.
So you can find the Senior Coach Celebration on there. If you want, next time you have a coach that reaches senior coach, bring me on a Senior Coach Celebration so that you can see how I do those.
Yeah. Okay.
Because eventually you're going to have coaches like the Pendles and the Blackwoods and the Downies, and they're going to be popping senior coaches like crazy. And they're going to be asking you to do Senior Coach Celebrations with their coaches.
Gotcha.
So there's 3 ranks that are huge. All the ranks are great, but 3 ranks are huge. Number 1, senior coach. We want to help them reach senior coach. Number 2, ED, and then number 3, FIBC. Now, ultimately, there's more than that, like you've seen, national, global, beyond. But for the sake of the training, we want to help people move along that progression. Let's get you to senior coach. Let's get you to ED. Let's get you to FIBC. I was having lunch with Dan Bell. He's the guy that wrote the comp plan. He's the co-founder of the company. He lives like 20 minutes from me. And I was talking about strategies for how to grow this business. And he said, really the goal is to build FIBC teams. But he said, if you can build 5 FIBC teams wide, 3 levels deep, he said, you know what that's called? I said, what? He said, Tahiti.
Mm-hmm.
So what I figured out was to build 5 FIBC levels wide, 3 levels deep is not easy to do, and it takes time. But what we can do is first focus on building 5 senior coach teams wide, 3 levels deep.
Mm-hmm.
That means that you have the Pendles, and then a coach underneath them, and a coach underneath them, 3 levels deep of senior coach. Mm-hmm. Then you want to help 5 EDs, 3 levels deep. Then 5 FIBCs, 3 levels deep. That's going to build a strong business that is going to bring you a lot of equity and compensation, and it's a fun thing. But that's the process. And what I've learned is way more important than me telling these coaches what to do is helping them discover what they want, asking good questions, and utilizing my team to help. And if you can do those things, you're gonna build and grow a great business. So one thing that's a strategy moving forward, Doug told me once to draw a circle and to make 3 equal pie pieces. And that is representative of how you're going to spend your time. So he said, one section of that should be your top 3 coaches. So for you right now, that's the Pendles, the Downies, the Blackwoods. 1/3 of your time should be spent in those legs, helping with senior coach celebrations and client support calls and, in-depth thing, like really working with those 3 coaches because they have proven that they want to grow. the next piece would be all the rest of your coaches and new coaches, like all, getting them on. And, I've learned that with coaches, there's 3 categories. There's runners, there's walkers, and there's ones that are doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to meet them where they're at. And then the third pie piece would be clients, working with clients, new clients, coaching current clients.
Okay.
And that's kind of a piece of saying, okay, like, let's say you got 15 hours a week to invest in this business. What is I should be spending 5 hours with the Blackwoods, Downies, and Pendles down in their organizations. I should be spending 3 to 5 hours with the rest of my coaches and 3 to 5 hours with client support and bringing on other coaches or whatever. Now, the one thing that's not included in that is trainings. I think you should carve out some time to be on trainings or watching recordings. But that just gives you an idea of, you want to find and locate your runners and really spend time with them, because that's where a lot of your depth is going to come from.
So how would I engage, let's just say the Pendles, like how do I interact with them? I mean, what am I saying when I'm calling them? You know what I'm saying? Obviously just checking on them.
Yeah, that's a daily, just a conversation, and you'll start to see that you'll start to get a lot more integrated and involved with them when they start having coaches that jump on board. I think a great thing to do, and I'm not telling you to do this to be just disingenuous, but I've learned that one of the best ways to get coaches to reach back out to you is to lead from a place of vulnerability, to reach out and just kind of say, and again, I don't want to put words in your mouth. Don't say this if it isn't true. But just say something along the lines of, hey, I've really been going through a process of the last couple of months of really discovering what I want with this business. And I've really got to a place that I'm ready to go all in and do this the right way. And if I haven't been a great coach or support to you in the process, I'm sorry. And I want to change that.
Yeah.
Now, again, if you don't want to do that, I'm not saying –
that's actually the phone call I was going to be having with Courtney.
I would have that with every person. So, and here's what – and this is – and honestly, that's a great strategy for your clients too. And here's – again, I'm not saying to do this in a disingenuous way, but if you really believe that, if you think that you could have done a better job supporting the client or supporting the coach, what that does is it puts you in a position of vulnerability. And usually when you make yourself vulnerable, people want to latch on to that.
Yeah.
And so you have a conversation, and maybe even at Go Global when you're there with with Wayne and Courtney, you guys can have a time to dream together, figure out what this business is going to look like. And that gives you an in to start saying, hey, let's do this together. I would have that conversation with the Blackwoods, and I would have that conversation with the Downies, and just say, hey, here's where I'm at. And then you can also reach out via text message or whatever to the rest of your coaches. Hey, it's the beginning of the year. I'm sorry if maybe I haven't been the greatest coach, and I want to help. And if I can do anything, let's have a conversation. You just put it out there. Some might reach back out, some might not.
Right.
But the ones that do, let's run with them.
Yeah.
The ones that don't, keep them in the friend zone. And I think you could do the same thing with your past clients too. Hey, and again, if you think that you've been a great coach to them, then don't say that. Only say that if you think that's true. But specifically with your coaches, that's a great way to start. And then you're just basically offering to, hey, can I help you with some celebration calls, with some explore calls, with, I'm here to help you and to grow. And that's really the best way to work with your coaches. And then how else to best support them? You'll learn that as you go along with trainings and things like that. But I think for you right now, the best thing to do is to stabilize the base you already have, which is strong, and then build on top of that.
Yeah. I really got to focus on right now because I need to be adding more coaches.
Yeah.
I got to get some more legs going. So I really got to, right now, my focus, obviously I want to be supporting coaches, but really got to start some new clients, man. I really want to build that up to the 10, 15,000 range.
Yeah, and that's a great start. And so hopefully with those tips right there, those are some things that can help along the process. But I don't want to get too much more into this because I don't want your head to be so full that hopefully there's some action steps that you feel, and then let's just continue having conversations. And that's how you grow.
Yeah. Okay, man.
Cool. Well, I recorded this, so I will convert it to a link and then text it to you so Elizabeth can watch it too.
Send it to